The Shamrocks. This year being 2024 as of this filming, they got to add 2 names to the prestigious Trinity State Wrestling Championship list. And we have one of those Shamrocks with us today. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name is Malachia Harris, class of 2024.
And you are the 157-pound KHSAA State Wrestling Champion, representing
Correct.
the Rocks. And you've had a phenomenal career. Trinity, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll get into your history and all that just a little bit later. But we like to start everybody off with the standard question of what gets a young Malachia Harris into wrestling? What's the spark that ignites the inferno, if you will?
So at the very beginning of my career, start 6th grade year. So my goal was to be a boxer or MMA fighter. And my mom was like, no. She wanted my head to develop, my brain to develop and everything. So I was like, what's the next closest things to being a boxer and an MMA fighter? And I've seen the past of UFC, champs and stuff like that. They was really good at wrestling. Those wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if I want to reach that goal, why not be a wrestler?
Absolutely. Now, I got to ask, who's your favorite boxer, MMA fighter, all that?
Currently, it's Israel Adesanya.
Okay. I was going to say, if you don't say that crazy guy, the GOAT from Louisville, I think they might run you out of town. You know what I mean? You got to throw Muhammad Ali in there somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I don't remember, it was the COVID year, so 2021, we held it at Louisville Central. Of course, everybody knows that's where Muhammad Ali went. And I was walking around all the photos and the plaques and all that, documenting that, because that's something that not everybody knows. They know Muhammad Ali from Louisville, but his high school and all that. And I thought, what a perfect time to put some Muhammad Ali love on the channel and having at the state duels. So you start at 6th grade, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you wrestle all the way through. I want to say, and I was getting the research ready for this. I was trying to go back and think. I believe that there was a couple years either at middle school state or U state that I got to referee a couple matches, or I saw you there or something to that effect. It all kind of runs together, but I was trying to go back and think, and I was like, man, I think I remember seeing that dude. Did you wrestle in Pikeville when middle school state was there?
Was it? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. 8th grade year, I did.
Okay,
I remember, I think it was my 3rd and 4th match, I believe.
Okay, because I remember, like I said, I know this class coming through had Uriah, Logan Castle, couple other names, Carter, and I was like, man, that was just a great class of wrestling, and with you in that mix and your opponent from this state finals. But let's talk a little bit about your state tournament journey, and you guys. The senior class, I'm glad that you finally got at least 1 year in an arena. We didn't have to give you guys all 4 years in a high school gym for the state tournament. You got 1 year in the horse park, and it was good for everybody, I believe, to get back into a big building. But as a sophomore, 2022, 144 pounds, according to track, it has your record at 40-11. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I kind of like, talking to guys about this kind of stuff. You get to the quarterfinals, you're wrestling Glenn Mays from Union County, and he gets you with a 7-4 decision. But you have a rematch with Glenn in the 5th and 6th place match, and it's got Glenn winning, but by injury default. You remember much about that?
Yes, sir. It was the match before that. I think it was the match. I know I had a match with Mason Schweitzer, and I don't know what happened. I think it went for a low single, and I hyperextended my leg, my knee.
Oh.
So I was like, I'll be fine. I'll go out there. But as soon as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, there's no way. I can barely put pressure on it. So I was
Yeah.
like, it'll be fine to just, I got it next year. Next thing you know
Yeah.
it, I'll to the state finals.
Yeah, no, I get it. And that's something, you're on the podium, you're medaling. There's no reason to hurt yourself worse than what you already are in situations like that. So that was a smart move. But as a junior, you're coming in 150 pounds, and track has your record at 21-4. So much improved record. But this year, you're in the state finals. And let's go over your bracket a little bit. Now, we're not going to talk about the first round match, but the reason I wanted to bring up this year specifically is you being in the finals and your path through the finals. In the quarters, you win a major decision over Max Speaker of your rival school, St. Xavier, 18-7. And Max was in the 2024 165-pound state finals. He come up a little bit short, but still, nevertheless, there's a state finalist that you had to go through. That's saying something in the quarters. The semis, remember this name, fans. You win a decision over Ryland Pinkston of Highlands. That's of Northern Kentucky. You win that by a 9-2 decision. So, as you'll come to find out a little bit later, if you don't already know the story, you'll hear Ryland's name again. Ryland, pretty good wrestler. But you get to the finals in 2023, you're wrestling Malachi Router from Paducah Tillman. And Malachi from Paducah wins a 5-1 decision. No shame in getting beat by Malachi. Excuse me, he was a 2022, 2023, and he moved to Missouri, and he won, I forget what state championship class it was in Missouri. He won
3A.
Was at 157 pounds in Missouri. So a 3-time state champion. And I bring that up because it may not have been the result that you wanted, but you can clearly see a progress in your wrestling. You know what it takes to get to the finals. So talk a little bit about your progress. What got you from placing 6th to being in the state finals?
I just realized I need to have that mindset that I'm the bigger fish in the smaller pond, and not just, I'm doing the pond as Kentucky. And once I got to my senior year, I was thinking about I need to get out that pond and get into a bigger pond with better competition, talking about the nationally ranked guys. So going to that state tournament my junior year, my goal was just dominate. I just need to dominate to the finals. And I know I already lost to Malachi Ryder, was it 2 times? First, it was bad matches or good matches on his hand. He destroyed me. But my goal in that state finals was just pressure, entire time, continue pressure. And that's just my goal, is just dominate the entire time.
I got you. No, that's because we know that elementary school age kids watch our videos. We know middle school age kids, high schoolers. We've been told, some of the coaches told me that they sit down some of the teams that they have, like elementary and middle school U teams, clubs, and they'll watch not the whole video, but they'll watch like the match videos and say, oh, look here how Grant Ullman from Trinity done this, or look here how Jacob Merton done this, or whoever it is. They'll show them, this is how you do it. This is how you're supposed to run a half Nelson. This is how you're supposed to shoot. This is how you're supposed to defend, whatever. And it gives the kids a visual. So that's kind of cool that kids can watch and then hear from the guys that have actually done it before them. Hey, maybe these guys know what they're talking about. They've done it. You know what I'm saying? They've been there before. They know what it takes.
State runner-up in the 150-pound weight class from Trinity, Malachia Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, your 150-pound state champion.
But 2024, though, is your year. You're a senior, and you're in the 157-pound weight class. And track has your record coming into the state tournament at 40-1. So we have to ask, tell us about the one.
The one, it was against a kid from Civil Memorial. I forgot his name. He's a dog, number one in Illinois. But there's not really much to say. The year before, he beat a former teammate of mine, Brian Bean, also at the finals at Mater Dei. But that kid was just a dog.
Yeah, Bean was tough. You were talking about Schweitzer from Walton Verona. You wrestled him in 23 or 22, yes, I believe. Bean and Schweitzer had a knockdown, drag out semifinals in 23. I was there for that. That was a heck of a match. But like we said, 2024 is your year. Let's go over your state tournament bracket. You start off the tournament with a tech fall over Maddox Bryant from Hazard, 19-4. And it should be said, even though it was a tech fall, Maddox was a 8th grader. He was a 2-time middle school state champion. So you beat a pretty good wrestler there in Maddox, and he's only going to go up. I think he ended up going 0-2 that day, but still, you get the experience. So you beat a great wrestler there. The second round, you win by a fall over Charles Woodring from Covington Scott, 3 minutes and 54 seconds. So you're proving you're the big fish here, man. You know what I mean? You're proving you're the shark. The quarters, you win by a fall, 1 minute, 14 seconds over Lucas Hutchinson of Madison Central. So 3 matches so far, 3 dominating performances. There's 3 bangers. You get to the semis, you win a major decision over Reese McGill from Oldham County, 17-7. Now, let's talk real quick about you're back into the finals, knowing you've got one more swing at the plate. This is it. I mean, wrestling may continue as far as going to college, competing in summer events or whatever, but as far as being a Trinity Shamrock, knowing you can have your name up on the wall there in Trinity's mat room and being immortalized forever as being a state champion in history books, this is it. 6 minutes if we don't go to overtime. You're back in it. When you win that match by a major decision, you come off the mat, what are we thinking?
First thing I really thought was 7 years. 7 years of just straight hard work. And I finally did it, Mm-hmm. It was definitely a big achievement for me. But say about not too long after that, I was like, I'm ready to go past the Kentucky State Championship, and I'm ready to go with something bigger.
I got you. So you are in the finals against, remember I told you that name, Ryland Pinkston of Highlands. And Ryland's coming into this match undefeated, 43-0. So we have your record as of this match. You've increased your record to 44-1. Ryland is 43-0. Now, had you guys, other than that state tournament match a couple years ago or the previous year, had you wrestled like any off-season tournaments against each other? Did you compete as on a travel team or anything like that? Or
no, sir.
Okay, no. I'm just curious because sometimes you know how it is. People get like travel teams or they go to events together, camps together. I just was curious. And you're in the horse park. Trinity has 3 in the finals: Aiden, Lehman, yourself, and then the 190 that I think probably was, I don't want to say the best match of the finals, but it was a great match. Lane, Kaiser, and I was back in. I got to be a tournament staff this year for the boys state tournament, and we got to go back before the face-off, and we got to line you guys up for the face-off, and it was cool to see you guys get to have the opportunity to be introduced in the big arena, run out. It feels like it's 5 miles away, don't it, when you run out from behind the curtain to the center of the mat. Feels like you're running out down the middle of I-75. That's how far away it looks, especially when you're out there competing or officiating on the state finals mat. it really feels like you're so far away from the fans. It's a big arena. It really is. I don't know the exact number of seats, but when you're back there getting ready to have your name called out for the finals, knowing this will be the last time I get to wear the Trinity singlet, are the butterflies churning? Are you just ready to get it going? Talk us through that.
Definitely butterflies are turning, but I just thought if I wasn't really thinking what if I lose this match, but at the same time you can't really stop thinking about that. I'm
Right.
like, it's not gonna be the end of the world,
Mm.
College is coming up and that's where you want your name to be big, but definitely I'm like, dominate. That's my goal, dominate. It can be anywhere, anytime, number one ranked guy in the nation. I'm just here to dominate and make a name for myself.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And this video that we have, as I plug my computer in, it has the Parade of Champions, the face-off, the match, and the medal ceremonies. So we're looking live here at the All-Tech Arena, and you're going to see why our guest, I couldn't have picked, which I didn't pick the sign bearer, but whoever done it, I applaud you because you gave the exact right person the 157-pound sign. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Parade of Champions, presented by the U.S. Marines. Please stand for 2020.
Is that better quality now, bub?
Fine.
Okay. I think we're going to call that from now on the Malachi Shuffle. So all you men and women that will be carrying out your weight class in the future state tournaments, you got to at least do better than that. You got to come up with your own dance. I love seeing it.
You just gotta let it fly. You have nothing to lose. Just have fun.
That's right. Have fun, man. Enjoy yourself. You're getting 2 days out of school, getting to compete.
All right, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
sir.
All right, here's the face-off.
Kentucky Horse Park for the 2024 KHSAA State Wrestling Championships, presented by UK Healthcare. Let's meet the finalists.
The Trinity section's right behind me, so if it's really loud, you'll I want to give a shout out to my man Alex Ray for coming in from North Carolina to watch the finals. 1990 state champion from Trinity, 112 pounds.
In the 150-pound weight class from Louisville County, junior, working 35 and 7-pound weight class from Ireland, Speedsters, and from Malachia Harris.
Are those your guys' final singlets right there? Those black with the gray and white mix?
It's not, actually.
Okay. I just was curious.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the people that's never seen you wrestle, from neutral, what is your bread and butter? What are we looking to do here? Nice low single.
Bread and butter is definitely fake high C sweep every time.
You get a good takedown right there. You got Jake Lowry out there and Andrew Dennison. So you got two really good referees, two good friends of mine. And was it the game plan to just get some takedowns and cut him, or?
I mean, the game plan is, of course, to win, but
Right.
it was definitely to dominate. But this dude's hips and leg defense is insane.
Yeah, no, I get it. And of course, the game plan is to win. I guess let me rephrase that. As far as planning out, okay, we know we can score from this position, or we know he's pretty vulnerable on this move. Did you kind of the scheme, knowing what his weaknesses were?
I'll say is neutral, his head hands, because I'm fast. I'm pretty much, faster than I'm the fastest guy in Kentucky by far.
Yeah.
But I really know that his top is really good and his leg defense is insane. But my goal is just to go in there, get takedowns quick, and if I don't get a turn on top, I have a rule. 7 seconds, 7 or 5 to 10 seconds. If I don't get a turn or have something to get a turn with, it's neutral. And I'm not gonna waste time and get more points.
Hey, man, that's a great, and you have the skill set. You can do that. You know what I mean? You have the tools in your toolbox to do that. All right, so the period ends. You're up 2-1. And it's your choice. And you defer. And he's going to take down.
I'll let him up, I think. Yep.
Yep, you let him, you cut him before the match starts. Now, in case you don't know, you can do that, wrestlers and coaches. So we're neutral. We're tied back up 2-2. Did your corner give you like advice on that? Hey, cut him, or let him up, or was it just something you wanted to do?
It's pretty much both of us because they know that on top I'm probably not gonna get nothing working. So you might get straight to neutral.
Right. And of course, Ryland right there gets a takedown on you, but you don't look panicked. I mean,
just gotta get up and out,
up and
step
out.
by step.
Build a base. Start coming up. Start turning those hips in. Now, I've got the volume turned way down so we can talk. The crowd was into it. The crowd was into this match. Do you remember hearing, like, the crowd, your Trinity fan section, your teammates yelling for you?
When I tell you that, like, it was so overwhelming. Like, the nerves was killing me. But it kind of felt like I was in and out of it, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like an unreal experience. It was more of like an unreal experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, he's still in control right here. You've got a whizzer in. Jake's not a wart. There it is. Good call, Jake.
I say this is my bread and butter every time. Number one bread and butter. High C.
Yep.
High C.
Right there it is. Boom. See how fast that was? That was fast, man. That was like a king cobra striking. Bam. I mean, for real, it was. Now, right here, the period ends. That's something that, and I've said in other videos, oh, wait a second. It's your choice. And you take down is the scrambling that you guys are doing now is light years above what it even was 5-6 years ago. If you can't scramble nowadays, you can't wrestle. That's just the facts.
That is definitely a fact.
Now, on bottom, we saw you come up, but that was from a takedown from the referee position. Are we same game plan to stand up? Do you have something up your sleeve that you're good at, or?
I mean, my goal was just to get in good position. I mean, not to get turned, but definitely, I mean, work myself to get up. But was I trying to get up? I wasn't really trying to get up and out, Honestly, I was just trying to make sure I'm continue working that hit for stalling.
Right.
Because if I'll say for a good idea, he should have cut me at the very beginning. Try to get a takedown, but he chose to ride out.
Yeah. And it looks like he's got a leg in there. I can't tell if there's another boot in. Maybe he does.
He has double boots.
Yeah, okay. He's got double boots in. He flattens you out. And when I was cutting this down, even though I knew the outcome, I was like, oh man. He's got some good top game going on, but you just don't seem, rattled by it.
This is where everything changed.
Yep. Now, right here in this scramble, I mean, you do a phenomenal job not giving up any near fall right there, man. You really do. Because that could have been, that could have swung the match right there. A couple swipes, but it's a different ball game. Or different wrestling match, I should say.
Yes, sir.
And there it is, man. You win by a final score 5-4. Excellent match. Coach Fleming, I believe it is, giving you the.
He's saying, like, I did it. You did it. You're a state champ.
And taking it all in. Give me a second, Mr. Official. I need to get my thoughts about me. There you go, man. Hand raised. State champion forever, bro.
Yes, sir.
And of course, it's got the we have the medal ceremony as well. So, in case you've never been to the state tournament, for those watching, the way that we do it is there's a match in between the from when you win until you get your medal. There's a bout in between. So that, I don't know, however long it was, 10 minutes or so. Are you going up in the crowd? Are you by yourself? What's going through your head after you've won this?
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And thank you to all my teammates and all my coaching staff.
I got you.
And I can't wait for more to come. And what's next? That's the big question for me, is what is next?
Right, I get it. And there's Ethan. Do you know if he was a senior this year? Is that correct, or is he a junior?
I'm not sure.
If he's coming back as a senior next year, he's going to be tough to handle.
He will be.
If he is, I didn't look it up. I have it right at my fingertips, but. And there you are, man. Get your medal, your bracket, your sign. Coach Fleming gives you a head rub for good measure. And there you are, man, on top of the world. A long journey. And we'll talk a little bit about what's next for you. But you got one leg of the mission accomplished.
Yes, sir.
And that's where this one ends, man. Great performance, like we said. Just good wrestling. You didn't try. Well, what we found in doing the videos throughout the years, not just the last couple years, but from the 80s to even the 1969 tape that it looks like people get out in the state finals and they completely just abandon what they're good at, their game plan. They'll try crazy stuff that you shouldn't even try in practice, let alone in the state finals. And they overexert themselves. They put themselves in vulnerable positions that, I mean, against a good wrestler, let alone a state finalist level wrestler, you're not going to pull off. But with you, it looked like you knew what you were good at. You knew that high C. You knew you could, get some takedowns if you needed to, escape if you needed to, and staying off your back right there. I think that's probably the most impressive part of the whole match, is not getting a near fall count there. So I know it's only been a couple days as of the filming since you wrestled the match, but does it play out the way that you remember, like, because it's all a blur, you know what I mean? Our sensory memory kind of makes things a little bit more intense or not as intense as it would for some. So just kind of walk us through that.
Honestly, I don't remember none of it. Like, during the match, I don't remember nothing. All I remember is what the match looks like watching it on Flow. Because during the match, like, after, it's pretty much all a blur. I don't remember shaking hands, getting put on my back. I don't remember getting a takedown.
I got you.
Only thing I remember is standing up on that podium and looking into our section and seeing everybody cheer me on.
Hey, man, I get it. And with that, we talked a little bit about Trinity's history. Trinity now has 42 individual state wrestling champions, and you're on that prestigious list that includes people like John Fahey, a four-timer, Myron Bradbury, the Hitchings, Grant Ullman, Bo Hoffman, Alex Ray. We could go on and on. Lane, George Faree from last year. We're going to be meeting with George and doing his videos. We go on and on and on and on. I actually have on video Trinity's first state champion from 1969 when the state tournament was actually held in Trinity's gym, believe it or not. So we're going to be efforting to get up with that gentleman. The last we were told is this gentleman lived in Rhode Island, and I want to make sure I say his name correctly. Let me pull it up here. I've got it saved on my phone. I know this is really good, a visual here, but I want to give the gentleman is just recognition. He was the 175-pound state champion, 1969, Craig Kissel. So, Mr. Kissel, if you or your family, we know the Trinity family is going to watch this. We know Trinity has a big alumni group and support group there. So, if anybody knows Mr. Kissel, please reach out to me, and we will make sure we get with him and do his review video. Well, and I want to say that the last Mr. Kissel, we were told he was, of course, still with us, and if he has passed away, we do apologize. But if he's still Mr. Kissel, if you're still around and with us, your family is, please reach out to us. I'd love to contact you. So 42 individual state champions, 3 team state champions, 1989, 2009, 2010, 2 most outstanding wrestlers, Larry Gibson in 1980, and then, of course, John Fahey in 2012. So just a phenomenal pedigree there at Trinity, history, whatever tradition, whatever word you want to use, Trinity's got one of the best in the state. But something that most people may not know is not just becoming a state champion, but you became the first junior official state champion. You were a junior official this year in Kentucky, and that was the first year of this program where high school aged men and women could officiate middle school events and down. And you became the first junior official to do it, to win a state championship. And you guys, there was a few guys, I think a couple girls got recognized at the girls state tournament there on Saturday. So that's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool that you were able to say you can do both. You can be a junior official and you can win a state championship. So a couple ending questions. Being out on the mat as an official, talk to the people that have never officiated on how much different it is being the one officiating as opposed to the one wrestling.
Oh, it is so much different. I mean, when you give, a takedown, and when you think of the takedown, you have to go by the rule book, not what you think, or what stalling is or stuff like that. You can't just assume somebody's stalling. You have to actually go with the rule book. But when you ref, you can't think as a wrestler. You got to think as a ref. Definitely two separate things. I just know when I first started, I was thinking like a wrestler for the first 2 weeks. Then I finally had to pretty much lock in and pay attention and focus more on little details, and it paid off.
I believe, didn't you get to officiate, is it the youth state tournament this year? Is that correct?
Youth and middle school.
Okay, I knew I was thinking middle school, but I didn't want for positive, but I was pretty sure you done the youth. So, man, if you can officiate the youth and middle school state tournament, man, that's a lot of wrestling in one day. You know what I mean? Or 2 day span, but one day piece. You're just like, I don't want to see no more wrestling. I don't even know what wrestling is. Forget it. I'm done with it. And it's cool though, man, that you can be a role model for so many up and coming wrestlers that want to be refs, because I'm not trying to make an ad here for referees, but without the refs, I mean, the sport really doesn't have a whole lot. You got to have quality refs out there to make sure that everybody, no matter if you agree with the call, you don't agree with the call, or whatever, if your team or your individual loses, as long as you know that you got the best effort from the referee that they could give, that's about all you can really ask for. And that's something that we've done in Kentucky, is we've really made an effort collectively, as some of the state tournament level referees have, like myself and a couple others. We've really made an effort to teach and train and coach, whether it's high school age men and women or people, that are in their 60s that are now wanting to officiate because the sport's growing. We just want to make sure that we're giving everybody at every level the best officiating that we can give.
Right.
And with that, you mentioned college, so I have to ask, what's next for Malachi Harris?
I wish I could tell you because
I got you.
I would say I wouldn't say I have no clue, but there are choices I have, but it's really I'm just crossing things out, the pros and cons, and narrowing that circle if I can finally make it. Future
Hey man, listen, I can tell you from experience, I just turned 39 back in January of this year, and I still don't know what I want to do. So I know exactly, what you're going through. Do I want to do this? Do I want to put my body through 4 more years of wrestling? Do I want to, whatever it is, I'm sure you'll be successful at it. I'm sure you'll bring that state championship mentality. I'm sure you'll put everything you can in, no matter what it is that you do. And the referee community and the Kentucky wrestling community, I'm sure I can speak for them on behalf of them and say, we wish you the best, man, whatever you do.
Thank
We
you.
know you're going to represent us well. You represented Trinity well, and we, it does my heart good to see a junior official in the first year get out on the big stage and do it, get it done. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
before I let you go, I want you to speak to the underclassmen in high school, the middle schoolers, the elementary schoolers. Give them some advice that you got that you wish you knew. That way they have a better roadmap to get where you were.
I would definitely make a sentence or a quote, I'll say, for yourself for the rest of your career. Mine was just have fun. It's easy and simple, but I would definitely say use the off season to your advantage. As many years as I've wrestled, off season has got me better than I can even tell you. I would definitely say off season's got me more, better at wrestling than compared to during the season. Because off season you get better looks with different guys, and if you have different looks with different guys, then you'll be ready for pretty much anybody. But go out there and just have fun. Don't care about the wins and losses early in your career, because that's how you build and become a better wrestler.
And man, I think that's a great way to end it. And if your quote was just have fun, just go back and watch the first of this video or the Parade of Champions carrying the sign. I think that's a perfect mantra for what you were able to do this season, man, is just have fun. And you ended up on top of the mountain, on top of the fun mountain, if you will. So, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy watching this, getting to hear your story, getting to watch your match, and pick up some little bit of tidbits of information that you was able to share. That way, younger wrestlers, just have fun. That's it. Just have fun. It can be a grind, but just have fun. Guys and girls, that's all that we have. We'll see you on the mats.